So in previous class, we have started this topic, that is multi-threading programming. In multi-threading, we have seen how to create a thread, in the how to use the inbuilt the predefined thread class, how to extend it, how to enable, how to implement the runnable interface. So after that, we have seen how to start the a particular thread. So thread is thread concept is a concept using which you can parallelly process multiple same task for multiple objects. Okay, means multiple objects can use the same resource at a time, and the system will share that particular resource, common resource, with the different threads for particular time. Okay, so only the thing is you have to define the run method, redefine the or override the run method inside your class where you have extended or implemented the thread or runnable interface, thread class or runnable interface. Okay, so after that we have seen the different life cycles of the thread. In thread, there are basically five steps, stages of the thread. One is new, runnable or ready, running, not non-runnable, that is suspended or blocked, that is timed out. Third one is dead, terminated or dead. So there, this is the diagram which we have seen, from new, runnable to running, running to terminate, or from running to blocked state, then runnable state. So next, the different states we have discussed, and now the thread class also we have seen. So thread class having the some constructors and methods. Okay, thread class having some constructors and methods are there. So where constructors are here, thread constructor without parameter and with a string, means here you can pass the name of the thread, you can set the name of the thread using this constructor. Then thread runnable are, that is here you can pass a string or a runnable interface thing you can pass to the thread class. So last one is thread runnable are string and name. Okay, so four types of constructors are there in the thread. One is without parameter, another is with string, third one is runnable parameter, fourth one is runnable and string. Okay, so these are the commonly used methods of thread class. That means these are you will use in your program for using the thread class. So run method will be redefined inside the class where you have extended the thread class, and start method is used to start the execution of a particular thread, and start method will be used with the object name or reference name to which is inherited from thread class. And when you execute the call the start method, it call the run method through the start method. The third one we have discussed, that is sleep method. Sleep method is used to pause or temporarily hold down or for particular millisecond. Then get name method to return the name of the thread. Next one, set name method to change the name of the thread. Okay, by default, if you will not set it automatically, thread 1, thread 2, like this it will name. If you can give your custom name using the set name method. Next one is current thread. So here you can know which thread is currently executing, which thread is currently under executable state, which is under executable state. Get ID, return the ID of the thread, and get state, return the state of the thread. Okay, so these are the commonly used methods of thread class. Next question we have discussed, that can we start a thread twice? That is, answer is no. So here it is trying to show T1 is dot start, T1 dot start. 2 times immediately you cannot write, because once you started the thread, again you cannot restart the thread when it is currently in the memory. Okay. So the meaning is this, so which we have discussed. Next, using alive, is alive and join method. Using is alive and join method. Is alive method is used to check whether the current thread is live or closed. Okay. So join method is used to allow to wait other threads before entering to the executable state. And remember, at a time, one thread can be in the executable state. So join method is used to say that others can now join. Okay. So here, join method is waits until the thread on which it is calling the terminates. So after terminating the current thread, then only others will be allowed to join. So different controlling Java threads. Dot start to begin the thread, wait and notify to hold on and notify the messages to say the message to other. So that is for synchronization purpose. So which we will discuss again today, the synchronization. Then stop is to kill the particular thread. Suspend to temporarily suspend or suspend. Then the reverse of suspend is resume. Then join, then set priority. These are the some methods which will be used to control the Java thread. Okay. So out of this, we have used dot start method to start the thread. And remember, when you exit from the program or from the method where you have started the thread, automatically it will terminate the thread when over. So just before continuing this scheduling, Java thread scheduling means the threads automatically started, and when it gets the executable state free, means when nobody are currently executing, then only one thread is allowed to execute. So that is done by the scheduler. So here, how to use it, there are different priorities are there. You can set the priority to run the particular thread. Okay, there are 4 types of priority. One is your maximum priority, second one is minimum priority, third one is normal priority, fourth one is your custom priority. So maximum priority value is 10, normal priority value is 5, the minimum priority value is 1, Custom priority you can set as per your own own requirement. Okay. So in your thread programming, there are so many methods as you have seen. So it will allow, it will it will give the priority to different methods, different priority. So here, see here, this run is the most highest priority thread. That is, if more than one arbitrary, so that is there is highest priority. And see, sleep method is not stop executing for the set time. Okay, so lower priority thread can run. So and the sleep is when sleep is there, so lower priority thread can run. Now see here. Okay, so before going to the next slide, we should see some one thread program. Just see here the priority sys program. Here I have designed a class test multi priority 1 extends thread. So here the run method is written. In the run method, this thread dot current thread parenthesis dot get name. So this is the main purpose to get the current name of current thread. Okay, so here it is printing thread dot current thread dot get name. So current thread is a method which is used to, which is getting the current thread mean current thread identity ID. Then get name method is to get the name of the current thread. Then system.out.println. Here thread dot current thread that get priority. Get priority method is used to get the return the priority of current thread. Okay, so thread dot current thread dot get priority. So here this is for getting the priority value. So you can note down these things. So thread dot current thread dot get name method is used to get the current thread name. This thread dot current thread dot get priority is used to get the priority the priority of the current thread. Okay, so these are the methods which is called in the run method. To sample for a sample program, here it is used. Okay, now in the main function I have created 4 threads, M1, M2, M3, M4. 4 threads with which are same the class, that is test multi priority. So run method is there under this, and I have kept also main method under this. So there is no difference, you can put it in another class also. Now test multi priority 1, this is your one thread is one M1 reference is created. M2 is also there. M3 is created, M4 is created. So these are the things which is written for creating the object of test multi priority 1. And remember, test multi priority 1 class is inherited from thread class. So inside the thread class, as we have discussed, so many methods are there. Run method can be overridden. So here run method is overridden, and output is when run method will be called, it will return the, it will print the current thread's name, and it will print the priority value of current thread. Okay. Now see here 4 references created test multi priority. Now M1 dot set priority within parenthesis thread dot mean priority. Okay. So as I told you, there are 4 types of priority. One is minimum priority, that is your 1. Maximum priority, that is your 10. Normal priority, that is your 5. And for that, it is, so this thing is returning, this is a constant. Okay, this is predefined final variable, final identifier. So mean priority, it is belongs to thread class. Remember, thread class, there is a final identifier. Okay, mean priority. So automatically when it is referring the 1. Next here, M2 set priority, this is used to, this is for 10 value. Okay, we will see the program. So just you note down this thing. So thread dot mean underscore priority value, the meaning is the value is 10, sorry, 1. Thread dot max priority is equal to 10. So thread dot norm underscore priority is value is 5. Okay, so here the after each set priority, here I have set the name M1 and M2, then M3 to M3. So these are the thread name of the individual reference or objects. So M1, I have given M1 to M1, M2 to M2, M3 to M3. Okay, then M4 set priority 3. So here I have set the custom priority. Okay, custom priority I have kept it 3. Got it? Now M4 dot set name, here for M4 also I have set the name. Now when we start M1, M2, M3, M4, okay, M1, M2, M3, M4, 4 thread are ready to run. 4 thread are ready to run. So which one will be given more priority? Now in this program, M2 is the highest priority is set. Then the lowest priority is your M1. Then the normal priority is M4. Okay, and M3. Then M4 is the custom priority. So M1, M2, M3, M4. These are the, so this run method. Here run method again having 2 lines, 2 line of code. Means first this is one independent line process, this is another independent line of process. So these lines will run separately. They will not execute at a time. Okay, means get name, get name, get name, get name will be called for these 4 threads. Again, get priority, get priority, get priority, get priority will be executed for 4 things. Okay. Now let us see, compile this program and execute it. Test multi-priority 1. Program name is test multi-priority 1. Okay, so which one we have discussed? So see, first is running thread name M2. M2 is your max priority. Then M1 is your mean priority. Okay. Then M4 is your medium priority. Not medium, that is 3. Okay. Then this M3 is your 5. So here M1 is your 1, M2 is your 10, M3 is your M3 is your M3 is 5, M4 is set is 3. So running thread. So here again see here the get priority value it is printing 3, 1, 10, 5. So again separately it is run 3, 1, 10, 5. That means here even if priority is given, but this process is not waiting for this. Okay, process is not waited for this. Even if priority is given, processor is not waiting because your processor means because all are arrived at the same time. When all are arrived at the same time and uh, try to run, okay, if there is no restrictions, then it is not necessary that it will follow the priority. Okay, if the time slot which is allowed to execute, if it is more than that, then only it will allow to other. Okay, so we will see now here we will see another program. So which is our actually today's program, that is synchronization of the thread. Synchronization of the thread means it is needed for in order to control threads coordination. It is needed to control the thread coordination. So mainly in order to prevent simultaneous operation on data. Means when simultaneous means suppose everywhere there must be a synchronization in any processes. Otherwise what happen? Suppose suppose there for you means suppose the in every task, suppose your mother is giving you food for eating. Okay, suppose your mother is giving food for eating. So what she will do? She will take the container where she will serve. Okay, then serve the food, then give to you, then you will eat. Okay, but this is the process. One by one task will be done. Suppose you four friends has gone to a hotel for food. Okay, there or your in your family 2 3 members are sitting in your dining table to eat. Okay, and somebody is serving the will serve the food, then you will start the eating. Okay, so what he or she will do? So there first she keep the plates where you will eat. Okay, then serve a particular rice, suppose rice, then dal, then curry, then suppose fry or whatever. Okay, so 4 5 items he or she will be served. Okay, so then suppose in one tray she will serve. So normally there is a process. Okay, first rice, then dal, then curry, then fry or whatever things will be served sequentially. Okay, but you will find rice will be given to all, then dal will be given to all, then the curry will be given to all, or suppose salad will be given to all. So this is called synchronization of the process. Okay, somewhere rice, somewhere dal, somewhere curry, not like that. Okay, the suppose you think that who is serving, that is a process. Okay, so that process, suppose you are in one thread. Okay, he or she will share the time or task to individually for same time slot. Okay, so that's giving time slot, that is called scheduling. Okay, and to do the work perfectly, so they will follow a synchronization formula. Okay, like this in our computer programming, in our programming, in multi-threading programming, there must be a synchronization method. Otherwise, something problem will occur. Suppose there another example, that is, suppose in the bank account, so first you will deposit some amount, then what then so after some days you will go to the withdraw. If your withdraw amount is greater than your current balance, then you have to wait. First you have to deposit some amount, then after that only you can withdraw. So these things will be in synchronization form. Suppose you go to the ATM for withdraw, and some your parent has parent is trying to deposit the amount before you withdrawing. So you have to so if you go to the ATM, then the bank will not give you the amount which is greater than the current balance in the account. So after deposit, or after sufficient balance, then only you can withdraw. But for deposit, there will be no restriction. You can deposit anything. But withdraw, the balance should not be less than the the withdraw amount should not be less than the balance value. So that will be checked. So when this thing happens, so at that time synchronization required. Okay. So another example. Suppose one example. Suppose you are three persons, and I told that some person one say the multiplication table 4, person 2 should say multiplication table 5, person 3 should say multiplication table 6. Okay, I will here complete multiplication table from person 1, then complete multiplication table from person 2, then complete multiplication table from person 3. Okay, so this is called synchronization. If haphazardly I will listen, or you will say, then I cannot get the proper table properly. Okay. So these are the different examples of synchronization. Synchronization means after completing the task by a particular thread, then another thread will be allowed to execute. Okay. So that is called synchronization. Okay, now we will see a small program without synchronization. We will see a small program without synchronization, then we will test it with synchronization. So see the program here. So I will share these programs, don't write this, I will share it. And remember, when I am sharing any program, you try to write in the notebook so that you can remember these things. Okay, because of less time, we are not able to write the program directly at this scene. Okay, now see here, there is a class table where I have written a function method print table, and it is getting a value n, and that n multiplication of I, that is 1 into 5, 1 into that, suppose n is 5, 5 into 1, 5 into 2, 5 into 3, like this, 5 into 5, up to 5th multiplication value. So it will print. So this is a loop which prints the multiplication table of n. Okay. Then this in the try, I have thread sleep method is used. Okay, sleep method is used, and thread is the class. Okay, so sleep is a method, public method, we can use it. So now this is for pause the current thread. Okay, so this is a simple multiplication table. This is your class table. Okay, now come to here, class MindThread1 extends thread. So this here I am going to create a MindThread1 class which is extending from thread, and inside this I have created one local data member, that is table type object, or you can say reference. This is not object, this is called a reference, because we have not used new. Okay, then this is your constructor where I am getting a table type T, and that t is assigning to this t. Okay, so here it is, if you are confusing, then you can name it to T1. So T1 equal to this T1 is this T1 will be assigned to this dot T. Okay, so this is the thing. Then public void, so run method is redefined here. So inside the run method, printable method is called, and printable method is written here, printable method. Okay, so printable method is written here. Now 5 value is passed. So here it should say, it should call 5 into 1, 5 into 2, 5 into 3, 5 into 4, 5 into 5. Okay, it should run this. Then another class thread class which is extending from thread, that is my thread 2. Same thing, all the code is same here. There is no difference. Okay, only the difference is here I have written 100, here it is written 5. Okay, for your convenience, here I am using this T1 or T1, then T1, so that you will not be confused. Okay, now these are the two classes which are inherited from thread class. So what type of this inheritance? So here hierarchical concept is applied. Now come to the main function. So main function I have written in test non-synchronization. This is a class name which I have given, test non-synchronization. And here main method, inside the main method, table obj, another obj is created, that is new table. Here object is created, but here not object created, here reference is created. So obj is the table type object, and here it is reserved space, one object. Okay. Now my thread 1 T1 equal to new my thread 1 obj, means obj is passed as the parameter to the constructor. Here obj is received by T1. Okay, my thread 1 means here obj is received by T1, then it is assigning to T, means T is now referring to this. Okay, here T is now referring to T1. Okay, it is not reserving any new space, it is referring to T1, and T1 is your obj. Okay, now my thread 2 T2, my new my thread 2 obj, then T1 start, T2 start. Now for this, now for first time what I will do, here I will not write this thing. Okay, only we will use my thread 1. We will not use my thread 2. Okay, let us see what happens. Program name is test non-synchronization. Non-synchronization Java. Okay, so let us execute this. So 5, then because of this sleep method, because of this, where is that? Sleep 4000, it is waiting for 4000 millisecond, then it comes. But here only, so here so many statements are written, but only one thread is starting. So here the sequentially it has processed. Okay, but now that let us see, we will use 2 threads. Two threads. Okay, we will see the 2 thread method. Just see 5 100, 10 200, 15 300, one by one it is running 20 400. But remember, this is not necessary that it is always run like this. Not necessary it will run like this. Okay, so here it is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And parallelly, because of two threads are started, and your system, your Java environment will give the same priority to both the threads. Okay, same priority to both the threads. Now here, so first given to T1, then given to T2, then given to T1, then T2. So like this way, it is executed. Okay, but our requirement must be first it should print the 5 multiplication table, then it should print 100 multiplication table. But it is not doing like this. So how can we do this? So using synchronization method. So that concept is called synchronization. So there are the two usage of synchronization. One is your synchronization method, synchronizing method. Another is synchronizing block. Means total method you want to synchronize, then that is called synchronized method. If you are to control some statements only which you need for synchronize, then that is called synchronized block. So for synchronizing method, there is a keyword you will write, that is synchronized. Synchronized keyword before the method if you write, then your in your multi-threading application, after completing the complete task for a particular thread, then it will allow to execute the another thread. That is the meaning of synchronized. Okay, so synchronized, in the synchronized method, before the method, if you write synchronized, then after completing all the statements for a particular thread, it will allow the others to execute. Okay, now let us see another example. So here just you see, this is without any synchronization. Now we will make this print table as synchronization method. Okay, so this before just see here, before print table synchronized word is written. And remember, this synchronized word is not necessarily written before void or after void. Means you can write either way, void synchronized or synchronized void, no problem. But synchronized word should be there to make the method as synchronized. Okay, and once you write this is synchronized, means all the statements will be executed for one thread, then only it will allow to other thread for executing. Okay, so that thing only here in the previous program I have changed, that synchronized keyword is written and rest thing is as it is. Okay, no changes, all the things are same. Okay, just synchronized is used here. Let us see, the program name is test synchronized method. What is the program? Test synchronization method. Okay, test synchronization method. Just see here, it has printed 5, then 10, then 15, then 20, then 25. So first thread work complete. Then for second thread, 100, 200, 300, 400, then 500. Okay, means this synchronization method, synchronization keyword, set the method as the synchronized, so that after it is given to the after completion of the first one thread, then only another thread will be executed. That is the use of synchronized. Okay, so synchronized method now understood. Before the method, if you write synchronized, then that if you will call through the thread, then this method will be completely executing for a particular thread, then only that method will be allowed to execute by the another thread. So here T1 first it is executed, completed, then only T2 print table is called. Before that it is not called. Okay. So this is called synchronization method. So remember here, synchronization method means the before method it is written synchronized keyword, synchronized, remember the spelling synchronized, synchronized method. So before void you can write it. Okay. So next we will see synchronizing block. Synchronizing block means inside the method some statements will be written in synchronized. Okay, so the syntax is like, just all of you remember, note down this syntax. Synchronized within parenthesis this. So this means refer to current object. Okay, synchronize this. So this is the syntax. Synchronized within parenthesis this, Colibra start, some statements, then Colibra end. Okay, so means whatever statements written inside the synchronized block, this is called a block. Okay, this is called a block of statements, multiple statements within Colibra, that is called block. Okay, if you write synchronized within parenthesis this, then that means this block is synchronized in the current method add name. Okay, so and this is not synchronized, this is independent of the class, of the method. Okay, this is inside the method, but it is not controlled. It is not controlled by the synchronizer. Okay, so let us see the another program, synchronization block. Just see here in the print table, in the previous program, in the print table, this was defined as synchronized function method. Here inside the print table, all the things are written under synchronized block. Task is same, work is same, but if you want to put some part only inside the synchronized block, then that part will be only controlled. Okay, another part will not be controlled. Okay, so here synchronized within parenthesis this, then within Colibras you have to write this thing. Okay, and rest thing is as it is. So we will see this test synchronized block 1 Java. Okay, the task is same, but the difference is here it is to completely the entire function is written in the synchronized function. Here a block of all the statements are written in the block. Okay, work is just output is similar, but difference is like that. But now see, we will do one thing. We will put this let us write this as a this part as a synchronized block. Okay, this for statement is within synchronized block. Okay, this try block and case is not under synchronized. This sleep function is not synchronized. Okay, only for loop will be synchronized. Let us see. No problem. So here some part of the statement we have kept in synchronized. Got it? First it has executed this 5, 10, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Okay. See, previously sleep method also in the synchronized. That's why before after printing all the value, one value, it is sleeping. Now here, just when I executed, okay, this sleep method is completely ignored or temporarily it is. And because of this is given low priority, then that's why it just ignored and very less time it has waited. Okay, because this sleep method is not under the control. Understood? So this is called the synchronized block. So synchronized block means multiple statements will be written in the synchronized with within parentheses this. If you write the method with the synchronized keyword, then it is called synchronized method. Okay. So this is synchronized block. When synchronized block, key of the locking should be supplied, usually would be this. The advantage of not synchronizing the entire method is efficiency. Okay. So now these are the programs, and some more programs we should discuss. And this wait and notify, wait, notify one. These are the different programs which is not in your syllabus, but we should discuss. But time is not permitting. So if time permits, then we will discuss in the extra class.